Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I use the King James version of the Bible in order to put together the prophecy of Israel, which became the Book of Zion. I've been publishing both the Book of Zion and the Pot Smoker's Bible on social media so that the world can see what the prophets have to say about our modern age and what's going on right now, because it's all prophecy. And at the end of my last discussion, I was talking how there was three people in the Old Testament who God changes their name. Abram becomes Abraham, Jacob becomes Israel, and Beulah, B-U-L-A-H, Beulah, becomes Zion. Well, I'm Brenda, but my monogram is B-L-A-H. Put a U in it, that's Beulah. Close enough for rock and roll, man. And I am a rock and roller, just so you know. So anyway, so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that leads into my next paragraph, where I left off, which is, of course, Saul tried to mimic this practice of name changing. He changed his own name from Saul to Paul and tried to change Jesus' name to Christ. But of course, Jesus was already dead, making the name change post mortem and invalid. Now, the early Greek Christians just added their Christos title to Jesus. Jesus Christos became Jesus Christ. Saul's name change was irrelevant because he didn't have the contact with the grave required to make it real. He tried to use this name changing as a way to prove to the Essene that he was a prophet and equal to Abraham and Jacob and equal to or a prophet of Jesus. Which brings us to the final two verses in our chapter, which is Isaiah 61, 1 to 3. It becomes Zion 7, 43 to 45. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord hath appointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and an opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of the vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called the trees of righteousness, the plantings of the Lord. This ends the chapter about the prophet Zion. She follows in the footsteps of Isaiah. They are both sent from the grey to free the people of Zion from their captivity. Both of us have the spirit of the grey, our telepathic connection. Our message is to the people of Zion, those who are imprisoned for their use of marijuana. These are the people who are broken-hearted. They seek to be liberated from their imprisonment. They are the ones bound in chains. My job is to proclaim the truth of Isaiah's words. I proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, the year of the controversy of Zion. This revelation of, uh, of the use of marijuana for the purpose of telepathy will give a lot of comfort to the people who have found beauty in the ashes of our pipes, our bongs, and our blunts. We use oils these days to infuse our foods, which gives us great joy. Our priestly robes will elevate us from our heavy burden of persecution, and our use of a small tree-like plant that makes us telepathic is our tree of righteousness, making the pot smokers the priests, the priesthood of Zion. thus ends the 10th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible. And now I will do the reading from the Book of Zion. Chapter 7. Sing, O Barren. For I have heard a voice of a woman in travail, and anguished as of her that bringeth forth her first child, the voice of the daughter of Zion, that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hands, saying, Woe is me, for my soul is weary because of murderers. Therefore saith I, Look away from me, I will weep bitterly, labor not to comfort me, because of the spoiling of the daughter of my people. Zion spread forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord hath commanded concerning Jacob, that his adversaries shall be round about him. Jerusalem is a menstruous woman among them. Behold the voice of the cry of the daughter of my people, because of them that dwell in a far country. Is not the Lord in Zion? Is not her king in her? Why have they provoked me to anger with their graven image and with strange vanities? The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in thy law. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. The law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O God. Yea, thy law is within my heart. Sing, O barren, thou that dost not bear. Break forth into singing, and cry aloud, thou that dost not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than that of the married wife, saith the Lord. Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thy habitation. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood any more. For thy Maker is thy husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken, and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou wast refused, saith thy God. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercy will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have said that the waters of Noah shall no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord that hath mercy on thee. O thou afflicted, tossed with the tempest, and not comforted. Behold, I will lay stones for thy with fair colors, and lay thy foundations with sapphires. And I will make thy windows of agates, and thy gates with carbuncles, and all thy borders shall be with precious stones. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children. In righteousness shalt thou be established, and shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near unto thee. Behold, thou shalt surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that riseth against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. But Zion said, The Lord hath forsaken me, and my Lord hath forgotten me. Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before me. Thy children shall make haste, thy destroyers, and they that make thee waste shall go forth of thee. Lift up thine eyes round about, and behold, all these gather themselves together and come to thee. As I live, saith the Lord, thou shalt surely clothe thee with them all, as with an ornament, and bind thee upon thee as a bride doeth. For the waste and thy desolate places, and the land of thy destruction, shall even be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants, and they that swallow thee up shall be far away. The children which thou shalt have, after thou hast lost the other, shall say again in thine ear, This place is too strait for me, give place to me that I may dwell. Then shalt thou say in thine heart, Who hath begotten me these? Seeing that I have lost my children, and am desolate and captive, and removing to and fro, and who hath brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These where have they been? Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring their sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried on their shoulders. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their faces towards the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Rejoice ye with Jerusalem, and be glad with her. All ye that love her, rejoice for joy with her, all ye that mourn for her. That ye may suck and be satisfied with the breasts of her consolation, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will extend peace unto her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles shall like a flowing stream. Then shalt that ye suck, and ye shall be borne upon her sides, and be dangled upon her knees. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, for Jerusalem will I not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory. Thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name. Thou shalt be a crown of glory in the hands of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hands of thy God. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord hath appointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of the vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that are in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the plantings of the Lord, that he may be glorified. Thus ends the 10th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible and the 7th chapter of the Book of Zion. This, of course, was the chapter about me. It told you about my life story, tragic as though it is. It told you about the Messiah, my long-lost childhood sweetheart that may or may not be alive, don't know, doesn't really matter at this point, because it's way too late for me to back out now. So, yes, he's right here. Been here since 1986, 88? Definitely 88. Anyway, we'll get more into him later on in the book, but for now, it's all about the pot. And that is where we're leading into the next chapter. So, get ready for it, everybody. Here we come. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy, and make that your livelihood. That's the secret to happiness. Stay happy and high. If you use drugs, you have every right and reason to. I love you all. We'll see each other soon. I'll say later now, 'cause I never say goodbye.